All right.
The one to keep your mics pulled close to you so we can hear. You don't mind. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
The board of election meeting is now called to order. Yeah, you don't have to do it. She needs
Go ahead.
needs some batteries.
It's Elise, go ahead. Y'all go ahead and talk.
Okay. May we please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. First order of business this morning is to swear in our new newest board member, Ms. Virginia Wasserberg. And I would ask that, Ms. Wasserberg and whoever you have, are you gonna have someone standing with you to hold them? Okay, thank you. We're ready for the swearing in, Ms. Thomas says, right?
Yes, Ms. Thompson. And Virginia. And who you? Okay.
I'm standing in the center, so let me see.
Raise your hand. And if you repeat after me. I state your name.
Virginia Wasserberg,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina
and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional power
and authorities
and authorities
which are or may be
established for the government thereof,
established for the government thereof, that I will endeavor to support,
that I will endeavor to support,
maintain,
maintain,
and defend the Constitution of said state,
and defend the Constitution of said state,
not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States,
not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will well and truly
and that I will well and truly
execute the duties of the office
execute the duties of the office
of member of Pasquotank County Board of Elections
of member of Pasquotank County Board of Elections
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
according to law,
according to law.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
I need a picture of, I guess my phone.
I think you always like. All right, the rest of y'all want to come up?
Yes, yes, like for that. That would like take home the board.
All right. All right, come on, Dwayne, so you can take pictures so I can get one. Did you say on y'all?
I got happy. Or you can get the other, not the bike.
Yeah, I need big smiles. Ladies and gentlemen, our director and board of elections.
Did anyone else want to take any pictures before we,
Well, Jay, you want to take a picture with your family?
yeah, we want to okay. Yeah, okay, the original. I think that was taken. Ms. Williams. Do we need to be an act for you for the board? Do we need to be an act?
You want to picture what? Me? Just being my mom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I need the board to come back one more time with responsibility.
You're back on my side. And,
Get a picture of her taking it Saturday. Oh.
Oh, you're gonna get back?
we'll make you the center point.
Tell us where you want us to.
Janae? Oh, yeah, okay. Gotta get her in too.
My husband's standing there doing it.
Everybody else. I'm not sick, I'm just. All right.
Welcome to the board, Mr. Wassenberg.
Thank you.
We look forward to working with you for the next few months.
For the 2 months.
For the next few months. We'll give you a few minutes to look at the agenda. Even though we can't vote on the minutes because he's not here. I do have a motion to approve the agenda unless there's something that needs to be added.
Second.
Then probably move the second that we approve the agenda as printed. You heard the motion, I direct the question. All in favor, let me know by raising your hand. That motion carried. have public comments this morning. Do we have anyone that would like to? Oh, I'm sorry. It's last minutes, okay. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from April the 2nd?
I have a correction
Okay,
on the April 2nd minutes. If you go through the minutes several times, we change it to AYD instead of ADY. And they just go several times.
I apologize, I made that change.
Thank you.
So you see on the second page?
On the first page and the second page.
and, my first name needs to be changed to LYN instead of LIN.
Where is it now? Where?
The chair, the chair,
And you, how you spell
LYN.
it? I'm gonna go change this so that I'm not signing. Is that it?
You never do that.
It might have been the computer sometimes they
They change it.
changes it to what they want to change it to. Now, that's the first time I've noticed my name not spelled correctly. Right, we're gonna move into, do we need to wait?
No. You can have a motion to accept this, correct?
Okay. May I have a motion to accept the minutes with the necessary corrections?
So moved.
Second.
The proper rule is second that we accept the minutes with the necessary corrections, and we will sign them, before we leave. She's making corrections now. But we can move to public comments. Do we have anyone that would like to address the board this morning? Awesome. Well, we thank you for coming today. We appreciate your attendance. And we will proceed, but we have to wait until our director gets back. Mr. Ashton. Which one? Can you assist her in there so she can run that? I'll give you the information to her so we can move on. You all lost too. Okay, so, well, that's happening, so that's the way it is. Would that be family?
Okay, cool.
We can place them in the- We're moving to, no one wanted to speak for public comments this morning,
Okay.
so we're moving into, old business, the budget. I do want to say that the budget will be voted on today because, it goes to the board, county commissioners for approval. So we know that you made some changes that we asked you to make. Is there anything you want to say to us about the budget?
I don't, but if you all have questions for me, maybe I could possibly answer them, George.
Yeah, I do have a question. This is a municipal elections, not a presidential election.
Yeah.
And you think the ballots to be lower?
It probably could. I don't know
You don't know about.
how much it would normally cost. You know, we do have a runoff and then we have the election in March. It's still part of this fiscal year.
And that's, it's always wise to have it more. And then if something comes up that the money can be readjusted, it can be. But if it's a runoff, then that's more money that you're gonna have to go back and ask for if needed, so.
Now, I know we did go over budget in balance because, you know, we had to reorder for the general election. And then they charged the extra 25% for the inconvenience.
Right, but, well, we're not gonna have that discount because it's a municipal election. And, so that shouldn't be a problem. That was the, general election last time that we had to reorder the ballots because of, name changes and so forth, so.
Madam Chair, question about that. Like, does this figure cover for the primary and or second primary as well?
Yes.
Well, in my opinion, it should, because we use the general elections, but, I mean, it's the same. I think I went up a little bit, but it should cover everything. Because I want to say municipal elections are cheaper than general elections, and I went based off the general election budget because uncertainty, just wanted to make sure if you have an unexpected election in November.
You have two of them. You have two elections,
You have the municipal, the runoff, and then you have the primary,
right,
but it could potentially be an election in November
right.
for the bond referendum, I think, for the school, public schools.
So you're looking at the possible 5 elections.
Well, even if you don't have it.
Right.
Okay.
So she based her calculations on the general election, which was more than enough.
Right, because you know, we got charged twice.
And the actual was that for 3 elections? Including presidential?
Was it 3?
So, oh, we had 3, didn't we?
I was just here for one, so I don't.
24.
That's included the 3 elections. That was projected. And so when Emma did the budget, she made sure that we had more than enough money in the budget to cover everything.
Mm-hmm. It's just that the reorder was unexpected.
Right. Oh, okay, so that's the 3 elections plus the reorder.
Right,
So I think we should be okay as far as the.
You understand that, George?
Hmm?
You understand that figure is for the possible 5 elections
Right.
right.
compared to the 3?
And technically, we would have had enough in that line item, but we had to reorder. Unexpected.
Within the budget, we did a price increase for the facilities that we use for elections. Where's that captured at?
Where it says rent.
On the list? Okay.
Do you all think that it needs to be more? For in March, do we use facilities for that?
Right. We did. We said something about the increase.
We do.
We did, but now for where I have it, it's for 2 elections for those 3 sites. Did I say it right?
Which one is it?
996.
Those sites.
No, but we're not using all.
You don't
the
use
city.
all the sites for those
Yeah,
elections.
we just use 3. So how many do we use for the primary?
We use all of them for the primary, but for this municipal election, Mount Herman will be used,
Yeah, I have,
but not Lexington. So.
I'm talking about for the primary.
But for the primary, we use all of them.
Okay, so how many do we pay for those?
They use the old budget, so the new budget will go into effect this time.
Right. No, what I'm asking is, so for the budget that I put, it's for the 3 sites that we pay for, correct?
It's going to.
So we get $300.
Right,
And so, so I get for 3 sites, 2 times. Is it just 3 sites that we pay for?
right, it's we pay for New Land, Lexington, and Mount Herman.
Okay.
But you're not gonna use those this time for your municipal election because it would just be mixed together. Not Herman, because you have some people that are within the city
Okay, well, I
limits.
put enough in the budget for twice, if we
Okay.
needed to use your facility.
Okay,
That's what I was asking,
all right, so we should be good with it.
for 3 sites.
Okay. All right. You good with that? Any other questions from any of the other board members? Because we want it to be as precise as possible, so if we,
I said, if that's not enough, can you do a budget amendment?
oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to pay for elections, so yes.
Right, because I know you were discussing possible moving Mount Herman.
Well, you wanna leave Mount Herman because of the sick people in the city limits out in Forest Park area, so, yeah.
Yeah, we need to have a conversation with them for general elections, to use that gym instead of that room.
Okay, it's not gonna move the actual place.
If you don't have to, yeah.
It's just so hard to find a place that has handicap accessibility and park. Especially for
I noticed you came down on your, building maintenance. Last time I was
Building maintenance. I kept it at the original budget.
yeah, you went back down. So.
For maintenance, for building, the original budget was 700, and so I just kept it at 700. It didn't look like we was gonna go over.
the county has all the renovations in their budget, correct?
Right, right.
We
Yes,
don't have to deal with that.
even the new furniture, because I keep talking about it. I bring it every time I talk about the renovation.
So, what did he say?
He said that they would take care of it, and when it got to that point of new furniture, he would give me a book, and I said, okay.
Okay,
Because I keep talking about it.
okay,
Hopefully, they will do something with the parking lot, or that's his intention, to see if he can't, like the grass, the trees. So of course,
hey,
yes, so, I mean, that's their intentions to look into it. So if that happens, then of course, when election time comes, we have to rethink of, I guess, it's not buffer zone, but where the parties will be sitting for election. But
I have a question about that. I remember back in 2023, during the municipal, the folks sitting outside had lots of trouble with fire ants. Does the maintenance include taking care of that problem? Is that counted?
that would be Benjamin's, job to do that, that does not have to be in our budget. All we have to do is request that they come out and treat the grounds.
hopefully,
Right.
if we have nothing but pavement, hopefully we won't have to worry about that.
Not with this municipal.
Oh, we might have to put this in. So, renovations, don't know when that's gonna start. I have no clue because they haven't officially moved out. I thought they were gonna move out last month, and they still haven't moved out. Now, a contractor did come here maybe like a week or two ago, and so we did go next door just to walk the area and get some measurements. Hopefully, they got the hint. Doesn't sound good. But we did go over there and do measurements. More than likely, they'll probably start on that side first, because candidate filing starts in July.
Start on what side?
The one side. Mhm.
Blue E, give us a.
I'm sorry.
Blue E.
Okay. Is this the minutes?
Mhm.
No, this one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit, you gotta sign it too, Jenny.
No.
I wasn't here.
Oh, she wasn't here.
Any other questions before we ask for a vote on the budget?
I know that, in the past, our municipal election has had such low turnout. I think it was 13% in 23.
Always.
Yeah, is there, and this is all very new to me looking at this budget, is there something in here to help us kind of market that a little better and help all voters in the city understand that there's an election?
We can't. I don't think it's, with the publicity that she puts out as far as, announcements and things like that, but as far as, and, putting up, we can't put up any signs or anything like that, you know, we announce the elections, but we're not, you said marketing, so what do you, maybe I need to ask Claire.
Well, it's marketing as in helping people understand that there's an election coming up in the city.
Madam Chair.
I think she had her hand first. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Our director does go to different places where she's invited to explain.
Yeah, she has to be
And
invited.
churches, universities, new women voters, things like that, who they do try to get the information out. She'll go in, she goes anywhere that they need information about.
Yes.
I like, it's within legal, it's legal. Facebook is very frugal way to advertise to the Visit City residents that elections.
I think do we have a Facebook page?
The county has a
The county
Facebook
has
page.
one. We
So
don't have one as a-
when we send out notices and stuff like that, they put it on the county page, Facebook page. We aren't allowed to put stuff up there, so we have to send it to them and they'll put it on the site. Cause it's monitored. So we put updates on our county page of what's going on. We try to update that at least once a month.
And maybe we can, ask the Daily Advance to, send out information about, you know, you will be available if people want you to come, you know, to, speak. But she can't go and ask them, they have to ask her.
I know sometimes they put things like in your utility bill when they want you to know something going on. Is that something that we can do?
That might be something that can be looked into.
Just to let the city folks know. Cause
But that would be just for the city, though, 'cause-
right, just for the city. My personal experience was that people came to me and said, I didn't know there was an election because they're so used to elections being in November and our election being in October. They were confused. I guess because we get the Hampton Roads, news stations and all that, and they advertise for their November election. And then we have our election in October. And people had told me that had they had known there was an election, they would have voted.
And also the county people want to come vote because there's
Yeah.
no election.
Yeah, and it can get confusing, because I did see that in the Observer, that people came in and sometimes they'll swear up and down, left and right, that they voted their whole life when they live in the county.
But you might want to check with someone that was with Mr. Hammond to see if it will be a charge to the city, because I think in that the city
This is
utility, yeah,
I would also check with the state board and see if we're allowed to do that.
right, that check with both. Is there anything else about the budget that we need to discuss?
It's the dues and sub.
The what?
On the first page, the second from the bottom, dues and sub.
So all of the dues for the NK and board members. So they are going up in our fees for NK. NK is the director, North Carolina Conference,
Okay.
for directors. And then the board member association is becoming back active since COVID is over. So it's just to cover all of the board member fees.
Okay.
I do not know how much that is. This line budget was already here
Right.
to cover those expenses. But I do know that the NK fees are going up to hopefully get directors awarded, so, yeah.
Is there enough, is there enough in here for, I know you guys talked about maybe needing some laptops or something before?
So I put it in capital outlay for 45,
Okay.
that's to cover 40 laptops. I was told to do 800 for each one, a rough estimate. And for that machine, because I have found another company for the folder and the tabber. I thought they were gonna call me yesterday, but they didn't. Oh, did you just send it to me? Okay, so also postage. I went up the postage
Well,
because, effective July, I put it in your all's packet, July 13th, postage goes up.
right.
It goes at 5 cents for every category, so.
Now, since you mentioned the folding machine, we discussed in March about you looking at renting.
Yeah, so the company that I just emailed, I got from another director, and they lease their equipment out.
Lease.
Okay. I thought something was said about,
We were gonna purchase one, originally that was in the budget,
I
to
know,
purchase a folding machine.
but I thought something, was the folding one, I thought it said something about it, probably wouldn't be right. Is that what we still,
So I was gonna just give you all how much it would cost, and you all can make that decision of if you thought it was necessary or not. So when I contacted Durham director, they don't use a folding machine, they actually pay a company to fold their stuff. They come and get their stuff and fold it. So, I mean, that's a luxury, because they have so many.
right,
They just have the tabber machine because they have to sell everything. But they actually bring people in and contract them out to fold paper. So, yeah.
Have we compared the prices for the leasing it and the renting it, because if you lease it over a period of time, what is the savings if there's any in pricing?
Okay, I'll let you know, because, when I spoke to the director about us purchasing machine, he just said if he can think that would be wise if it breaks down. You have a company that will come and fix it or either replace it.
If you lease it?
if we miss it. Okay. We have to vote on this budget too. Okay, but we do have money in here to either way, right?
Yes, because I went based off the general election fund.
No, I'm talking about, the purchasing.
Yeah, so we put an extra, I think it was $7,000 in capital outlay, just in case if we had to purchase something. And then for rent equipment, I put 2,000, I went up in that area, just in case if we do get something to lease, hopefully we'll have enough to lease it out. If you all think we need to go up in that, I can.
I guess you could know that, now, not exactly, kind of sort of what the lease price is. And then you can make that decision.
Is that just the folding machine? That's all I need. Is that right?
But, something about selling to, selling the cars. I think they fold them, and then they have to sell them, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And
It's,
so,
it's like a tape, like a little sticky.
um,
That's what the tablet machine is.
Is she going to,
She went to go get that, while I was making the corrections, on the minutes, I noticed that in the bottom corner that the company's name had popped up and I saw it, and I believe that's the email. She's literally just getting stuff in real time.
Okay.
There is no, figure on the second page
That's the balance,
for the requested
with,
amount.
the actual amount that she's requested is there.
Is it the fourth column there? Is this how
Right,
much she's
twenty
requesting?
twenty-five actual.
Okay. 'Cause it-
So she would have to put it back to rejection and request it for 2026 because this is what she's asking for, now for 2026, the total amount.
So it should be requested.
It should be in the request, okay.
Yeah, I was just saying there's nothing there.
Okay,
We don't want to do it.
Yeah, just wanna make sure there's a
Okay,
figure.
so she need to move that over to the same thing.
So the fourth column on the second page, the 2025 actual, is that your 2026 requested figure?
No, because I left that blank because they hadn't put in the
Oh.
salaries and the
That's
retirement.
right,
in there.
that's right.
Oh.
They do that, that's right. They do.
Oh, okay, so you,
So she couldn't
So I left
understand.
it blank.
okay.
They complete that part because that's,
Okay.
confidential information.
So,
So the figure will be a whole much higher than the
Okay.
request.
so what we're voting on is going to increase.
Right,
Is there any other line items that may need to be increased?
because
Do
you
you think
based it,
department supplies need to be increased, or you think it's fine where it is?
you base it on the,
General election.
okay, so,
But you're gonna have a primary too.
say what? Say what?
There'll be a primary too, not just a general election.
Is that where you get, which line item do you have your, the poll workers and your office staff?
They come with the, I got it.
Is that in the department?
It comes out of. Contract services. It's the third line item from the bottom, it's the highest one, did you see it?
Yes, I do. Is it,
All
Does it
all
state on
workers
it?
receive a raise.
I'm sorry,
All the workers receive a raise this year.
oh, they did?
No.
Well, they, the poll workers,
All workers, I mean,
The poll worker, it was just the office people.
no, it was all poll workers, y'all went up.
yeah, that's all. Poll workers.
I thought it was just the one that was working in the office.
I sent an email to Sparky. I did it when I first got here. It's not like it went up a whole lot. I'm just saying.
Can I ask, what do the poll workers get paid?
It's 10.50, 12.50, and 14.50.
Is that competitive?
No,
You said no, so is that like based on our region or?
I guess it's based on what Elizabeth City wanted. I don't know. I'm from a smaller county and we pay our poll workers more, so it's whatever Elizabeth City. whatever.
Well, it's a public service.
What was the office, what was the office people that was
It's
there?
12.50, I think.
So the 1450 is the chief,
The chief judge,
and the 1250 is what?
if they are a judge, and 10.50 is for everybody else. So maybe one day we can get to a point where everybody makes the same except for the chief judge. Maybe one day.
What are they paying in the county you're from?
I wanna say it's $14, then the chief judge gets $2 more. So the judges don't get anything different. They do the same thing that everybody else does. I understand the concept, I guess originally here that the judge, because they may have to do hearings or challenges, but they do the same thing. The only person that does the most work is the chief judge.
I thought we paid the, people that are doing technology.
Usually we do, we give them an extra flat fee based off what was already in place, and that's $25. So if they work on the computers or they do help desk, they get an extra $25. It's just a flat fee.
So those figures were increased last year?
It was increased to 1050 to 1250. But we also, I noticed that we do a flat rate for election day. And that flat rate is 125, 150, and 175. So,
For the whole day?
for the whole day.
So, but the prices that you were quoting there was for, early vote?
Election day is 125, 150
I know, but the other prices were
for early voting. Mhm. So I guess it's whatever. Again, I'm from small county. We don't do flat rates, we do by hour, so.
That's why it's so hard to do payroll for, especially for the early vote,
Yes, it takes a very long time.
because people do different jobs. It would be easier if everybody but the, chief judge made the same amount. It's a lot easier.
We could actually
Is
probably
that
make
something we can do? That's what we decide that? Or,
decide what?
cause she
What they
said,
make.
she's gonna be easier if everybody got paid the same except for the chief judge. It would be
It'd be
for
easy.
payroll purposes.
Yes, because I do payroll.
It would be easier for them.
Absolutely.
When do you do the payroll? Do you do that in the middle of the election going on?
Well,
Do you do it
no, I don't do payroll until after, I try to do a little bit at a time after election day. So people don't get paid until,
So, but still during canvas, you're doing the payroll?
I started on.
They don't get paid until after all the election
Okay.
process is complete. Even the early voting.
Yeah, even early, the recounts that we had, so we issued out 2 checks, I think it was the early voting election day, and then the recount. And so even for recounts, people got paid $10.50 an hour.
I'm open to seeing about doing like Michelle said and doing a flat fee. And I'm also open to maybe paying more. I feel like just as I've observed the process as an observer, and they work hard and, they try to do a good job, and I think they do a good job. And I appreciate the service that these people give our community and our elections, because without it, we wouldn't have any elections. And, some of them might be starting to age out as well.
Some of them have A's now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Question, are you asking that that be reflected in this budget? Is that what you're suggesting?
I mean, can it be reflected in this?
We can, if it's not too late. I mean, either the commissioners can agree or disagree with that.
well, they have not seen our budget yet.
Okay.
So,
I'll take the other side of the coin. We have some people, all they do is curbside.
That's a job.
That's a
That's
crazy job.
all they do is
That's a crazy job.
You know, I think it's giving discredit to people that do curbside.
Okay,
So
that's good enough.
but you have to look at it like this. You have somebody working checking, the easiest job, in my opinion, that you can have. That and greeter. And so they get paid the same amount of money that curbside does, and they have to walk back 4 times
Yes, back and forward.
for each car, for each person. So if you have 6 people in a van, that means it's 4 times per person. It's a physical job.
Yeah.
It
It
truly
is
is.
supposed to be an exercise.
It
But you
is,
did mention greeter. That's one of the easiest jobs around.
it is, and they
They do
get
the same
paid,
as a chief judge.
they get paid,
Not
no,
the- not the teachers.
they get paid, a greeter gets paid the same amount of money as everybody. That's a curbside, that's a check-in, that's a help desk.
Well, let me throw this out here, George. I did notice that during the presidential election, we had days,
Talking to the board.
I'm sorry, but we did have days where we had people on the schedule who for one reason or another couldn't show up. And then our director had to switch people from one position to another. And my assumption, and I haven't been through the training, but my assumption is these individuals, and you were a poll worker once, George, so correct me if I'm wrong, but they're trained to do all the positions. And so while we're saying it's an easy job for a greeter, that greeter, if need be, may need to switch over to curbside one day. Is that correct?
They're trained for everything. Greeters, and you just select the greeters based on, their ability, I think, to do the work.
Yes,
But if they are needed to do, they are trained to do every facet of the job.
And just,
So are we talking about paying chief judge salary to everybody?
no.
Making the assistants and the judges the same amount.
1250.
Everyone get paid the same except the chief judge.
Yes, in technology. people.
If we were to change it, I would make it the bottom 2 get 13 and the chief judge get 15.
Everybody get 13. And then the other.
Otherwise, you're not upping the middle people at all,
So everybody's moving from.
or even 13 and 16.
So what
The
about,
chief judge has a terrible job.
so what about 14? So what about 14 and 16?
how much does that cost altogether?
Because you don't know how many, last year you had 100 and what something.
140 people.
Yes.
Madam Chair, if you, look at the budget from the actual number that we may use, for previous years, if you actually, during the training process, if you were vetting more closely the people that we're gonna hire as poll workers, then that money is going to balance itself out, because you're gonna get a more dedicated, more knowledgeable person that's gonna work, and the budget will still be there to offset those costs.
But the thing with that, the kicker is that what that is, we have to take what the chair sent to us, and a lot of times it's people that are retired, and that's the bottom line. So we don't know whether we're gonna get them like you want. In the ideal world, it would be that way.
But you know, if you pay them more money,
But-
then maybe the younger generation, if they take off from work, they get paid from that job and then they get paid from us.
Well, how they gonna take off from work?
I did in the hospital, but it was worth my time.
That's why I think some of these folks are aging out, and so we've got to start working and recruiting from a different group of people. And those that are aging out need to be able to mentor.
You were a party chair, okay, and you know the hardship it was. You can't just get anyone. You have to make sure they are Democrat or Republican or independent. So you have to pick from the pool that you have. You can't, that's the bottom line, yeah.
Right, I mean, and I advertised how much they got paid, and that, I don't know, sometimes it can be really.
I've been in agreement with us increasing it, But, as far as the recruitment part of it, that's on the volunteers to get out there and do that. All we have to do is make sure we're paying for them, but it's not our job to decide who comes. It'll be the volunteers' responsibility to do it. Yes.
I hope the party chairs will work closely with our director to choose people who can actually do the job. That's what's really important, because she's had experience now, and she knows who could do certain jobs and who couldn't. And there were people in positions they should not have been in.
We don't have anything against senior citizens, but it comes to a time when they need to know themselves when it's, they can't do the job. And we did have some just say that at the last election, they couldn't do it, so. And we appreciated that, yes.
I'm talking as an assistant judge. They do jobs, but they also help set up, allocate the machine, and they have extra duties. I'm gonna cut them.
They don't say,
Everybody else in.
they don't say.
No, that's the chief judge's
So
responsibility.
the day before, when they go set up for election day, they get a small fee. I mean, they get something.
They get extra money for
Okay,
setting up.
they get extra.
Yeah, it may not be large, but they do get something for setting up the day before.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that's based on the chief judge who they select because they have to do it. They do the job. It's not all of them. I am in agreement of increasing it. You said chief judge 16,
And
everyone else 14.
Do you have an idea of how many people you're looking at for at least the municipal yet? Have you even looked at any of that, so we know what kind of figure we're looking
no, so if it's here, we don't have to worry about chief judge, Doing myself will be the chief judge and judge, but if it's somewhere else, then that's when you have to start hiring more people, because it's at another facility.
That's right. Unless the law change.
Right, so, with the municipal, I don't know how many in the past, they're going through stuff to see how many people was hired for municipal. I would assume that it's not as many people as you have for a general election, because it's not off-site.
So if you base it on, you have 140 people, 40 with general, so if you base it on 70 people. Half.
I'm just trying to think back in my head, at least, so you would have, what we have in the past was 2 or 3 people on check-in, and we have, I think, 1 or 2 for the ballots that you. So it's like, at the max, that's 5, and then.
And from my understanding, we only had 1,300 people to vote in the last meeting. So it's nothing in comparison to a general election at all.
Right. So something of that, so it's about 7 to 10 people each day. Let's just say 10, for the sake of a round number, 10 people each day. And I think the law is now we can go up to about 17 days for early voting.
It's 17, but I thought they were looking at changing it.
It hasn't came down whether or not they.
So we still basing it on at least 17
Yes.
days.
Or for a municipal election, what time the election's gonna be. It's gonna be 8:05, it's gonna be 7:30, 8:05. I'm just asking.
Well, we always try to make sure that the residents of Pasquotank County can vote. So, it has been being the same time, but.
The thing in the past has always been, because we have a lot of people that work in Virginia, they can't come 8 to 5. And a lot of people do want to vote in person. I don't like that they make us do one or the other the whole time.
You're gonna do one or the other the whole time.
Getting back to the salaries.
Yeah, that's a discussion for another day.
Once we raise this, that's a pretty good increase. I had a big percentage of it, it's a pretty good percentage increase. Are you going to tell the public it's going to stay that way for 3 or 4 years?
For what? The increase?
Yeah, for such a large increase.
It might be raised again the following year, depends on,
I mean, but I think this amount is a substantial amount for what they are doing. I think it can be set, I mean, at least for now.
and even the office staff, because their salary be based on this too. If we get extra office help.
Well, they get 12.50,
So it would be 14 for them,
if that's what you all want it to be.
right? We wanna be even across the lines.
I just, can we take a minute and do, I'm not very good at math in my head. But can we take a minute and try and like figure out what we're looking at here? Just for the sake of,
You talk about,
I mean, I don't want to see
Chief
my phone.
Judge, no, Chief Judge,
One was looking at $14, the $14 an hour for early voting, saying we have about 10 people. So that's about,
10 people a day,
well, I would say so, it's about what's in there.
more than 10 people a day.
That's if you all do
a
shit
shift.
at
So 10 people a shift.
Okay. That's-
So 20 people a day, times the 14, and what is, what math?
So do you all have the same amount of people for municipal that you have for general election?
No, no,
Oh, okay.
no, it increases because the voters increase.
Okay.
Our job is just to increase it. We don't have to give her the bigger, she left.
I just, for the purpose of just
She'd
understanding.
she'd have to have contracted services, a much bigger number to increase that, she can't really look at it.
I know, but they have to figure that out. I mean, that you all will take time to do that then?
I was just looking at an estimate.
But we had to put something bigger here.
Or other contracted services. Right now, you got $138,000 that we have
Put it at 138.
for contracted services.
And that's it, the price.
But and the chair knows how she, the reference, knows how she came on.
Right,
So
$138,000.
I was going to say, she would then take what we're requesting and budget. Because I don't know how she came on with it. She knows, she did. So then we would let her determine how she's gonna come up with the increase for this particular line item.
Right.
So do you all want me to go based off elections will end at 7:30? Even though we only had about 1,400 people.
I would say so, because that's the max of what we can do. I mean, it would be better to estimate high and come in low than it would be to estimate low and then have to go back for a budget amendment.
Okay.
So, honestly,
And then you're gonna approve this or not.
So what?
It's projected.
yeah.
And commissioners are either gonna approve this or not.
Right.
Well, my question would be, what is so at the county level, so a worker at the county level, what is their entry rate? Is their entry rate $10.50 for an administrative type position at the county level?
You can't base it on that.
Well, I would just say, that's
Because
why I'm just looking at that.
even if you look at position wise, and I guess we could discuss that in closed session, but that.
What is, I mean, the county has a certain set of rules.
It's not the same rules.
It's not, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
It's not the same rules for
Our
every.
right, our elections workers have to follow these laws that are constantly being amended and changed, and they've got to stay on top of that stuff.
Look, we're in the same fight, but we've been in that fight for a while, so it's not the same. It's not based, they're not treated the same here as it would be for the county workers.
The chair and the director will
Say what?
It'll be a benefit.
No, we don't get any
Okay,
benefits.
all right, okay, I got you.
They don't get any benefits in their own, they're self-employed.
Yes, they give them
Or W-9.
that 1099
1099.
as a contractor. So even the day before, when we send out the cages to all the sites, so they give us 2 maintenance people, that's it. and Miss Terry's husband, it was Shay's husband, and the cleaning company that we use, they, deliver all that stuff.
The cleaning company delivers.
Yes, they are with them delivering and setting up, because if not, we wouldn't have no people.
And they clean that place before the other folks come in there.
So they are truly a big help as far as delivering equipment.
Is that kind of how it's done in other places? That the cleaning crew pitches in to help out? I mean, are
You
you,
believe it or
people
not.
have to swear an oath, is what I'm trying to say, when they're going and doing, touching equipment and things like that. I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
No, they just help with the process. The husband don't swear an oath either.
Okay,
The maintenance crew doesn't swear an oath either.
okay.
I mean, if they need to be sworn in to deliver, I mean, that's, something minor that we can do.
I don't know, that's.
But to anything as far as, sometimes getting assistance for election is null and void. Very hard to get people to help with elections. No one wants to have any parts of elections because of the ramification that comes along with it.
Okay, so how do we resolve this? Because we're going back and forth to different things and we have not resolved this part of it.
Sorry.
We know that it's gonna be an increase from the 138,000.
Are we gonna do a vote on, suggestion or these suggestion for the increase?
For poll worker pay.
It says $16 and $14.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a vote.
Yes, we can take a vote on that. May I have a motion to increase the poll workers' pay and the chief judge's pay from $14, from their previous pay up to $14 and $16. I think that's what it was. Is that right?
So you're saying pay
All poll
all
workers,
poll workers and
chief
judges?
judge is $14 and the chief judge $16.
And the people that help move the equipment, they'll get the $14 too.
Right. Well,
I mean, they're considered poll workers, but.
all right. So do I need to restate it? Did I state it right? We're increasing it from what their previous salary was, from $10.50 to $12.50. They were getting $10.50 for poll workers. And the judges was getting $12.50, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the chief judge was getting 14. So we're gonna increase everybody from those salaries for everybody a flat rate of $14, chief judges and poll workers, and anyone else that we need to hire to do services,
Yeah, $14.
$14 an hour. And the chief judge is 16.
Yeah.
Can I
So
get
just
a
to make
motion
it
for that?
simple, just saying the chief judge's pay, we'll recommend the chief judge's pay at $60.
Well, I'm asking for
But I'm asking because we're going into
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, now when you put it in the motion, it's fine, okay? Whoever wants to put it in the motion, that's what we need.
When do you want to discuss that?
Oh.
Now?
No, I mean, after we get a motion,
Okay.
because we've already discussed it, so we just need a motion.
Well, I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I motion that we change our, poll worker and judge salaries, pay to $14 an hour and our chief judge to $16 an hour.
Need a second.
Madam Chair, second.
It's been properly moved and second that we change the poll workers and judges' salary to $14 an hour, chief judges to $16 an hour. You heard the motion, are you ready for the question?
I'd like to say, I hope that our recruiting goes up. We don't see any results from this. You know, it's like wasting money to me, so hopefully we'll see some results.
That's based on the director and the
Party chair.
party chairs.
It's not about recruitment to me, it's about retention.
Right.
Well, that's a very good point. I mean, we want to retain good workers. You know, I think, George, that the price of eggs and gas and things like that, you know. You know, and not just that, but just life in general, and the idea of trying to bring in new workers who can work alongside of the workers we already have now and develop that legacy. We have some solid, great workers now and poll workers, but, you know, they want to move on, they want to retire, and helping them, you know, come in with these new ones. I'm hoping the same with you, that this will entice some of our community to get more involved in serving.
I agree with that, I'm pretty happy with what you said about retention. It depends on who you're in, how many people are interested in working, are interested in politics. Or we bring in someone who's pulling off just fill a quota. It all depends on who we're bringing in, so that retention will be that they have to be interested in working.
Right. And really,
And we are only here to endorse what the party chair says, okay? And we can do a good job of making sure that we do what we're supposed to do as far as the board is concerned. But our job is to, make sure that who they send us is what we do. And we do a good job of trying to maintain what they send us. Yes.
I would just like to restate to the party chairs, please work closely with our director, because there are some people in positions they should not be in. Please listen carefully, because we all want a fair and equitable election. So I just think if we all work as a team, we're really gonna have a great election season.
well, our party chairs don't assign where the people work.
We assign them for positions,
Yes,
they assign them chief judge position, judge
Well, they
position.
make a recommendation, and we make the appointment for the chief judge.
Based off the recommendations that they do, we don't just not disregard what they say.
Right, yeah.
We have to make sure we stick to what the state say we have to do. Okay, so are we ready to go over can we go back to the motion? You ready the motion, are you ready for the question? All in favor, let it be known by raising your hand. Motion carried.
And I wish our director and our chair good luck in defending this to the county commissioners.
Okay.
You will do that.
Yeah, right, well, yeah, the probably, when we go into the budget, they're probably gonna ask questions about that.
Oh.
But we haven't voted on the budget yet, so.
Well, it doesn't, I will note, we have not changed the election day pay. The hourly pay is only reflected upon early voting, but the election day pay is different.
So do we
That
need to
will
change,
stay the same.
you want that to stay the same? You don't want it to be $14 across the board? We can still have it.
It's for the election day too, but you said it's one flat fee for election day.
Right, so it was still, but we would still have to change the 125, 150, 175 to, show the $14 an hour. You understand what I'm saying?
You would have to.
Oh, okay.
You have to, so you would increase the,
So instead of, it won't be so what's 14 times 12? 168. So it would be 168 for all co-workers, and then the chief judge would be different because theirs is $16. It's more appealing to the eye if you tell them, well, you can make $200 today, to most people.
Right.
If they hear that that's how much you'll make versus you're gonna make $14 an hour. If you tell them how much they'll make, it's more appealing for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, well, the bottom line is what they say, how much I'm gonna get for the day.
Yes, it'll be the same across the board, 14 and 16.
Okay.
She's got that increase here for contract services. Who's into commission?
Yeah, so I'll see if I can't find, a math genius
The 192.
to come up with an actual total of what it might look like. And I can email you all what they come up with.
192 for the two judges.
One night,
Our finance office, I'm sure that teams can help you.
192. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then,
He said that what for the poll.
so you do the poll workers 14 times 12,
I thought he did
168.
168.
So, and that will be the flat rate.
Flat rate, right?
The flat rate is 168 and 192.
Like that, for.
Right, so it went from being 125, 150 to everybody, it'll just be 168 for
Okay,
12 hours.
except for the chief judges.
Chief judge would be 192.
Right.
And here's a question that I do have. So that's for 12 hours, but you do know that they are there at least an hour after. Do you want to go ahead and just do 13 hours?
They all have to. be-
Right. Yeah,
All right, so then it changes,
right.
but I add the extra hours to make sure they get paid.
Let's do it then.
Does it?
They really need to be made aware that they have to stay, because we've had people that walk right out as soon as it's
So
over.
election day is from 6 to 7:30, so that's 13, so it needs to be 14 hours, huh?
But they don't get there at 6 a.m. They get there before 6 a.m.
5:30,
5:30
they get there at 5:30. So it needs to be from 5:30
to
to 8:30,
8:30.
because that's how, huh? So they get breaks, but it's not like a big break, it might be 15 minutes here,
And we
15
cannot
minutes
talk
there.
to them.
Oh,
Can't
I'm
talk.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I guess he's new.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, so as far as, we'll just address, as far as the breaks go, there's no actual 30-minute lunch break and no hour lunch break, depending on, especially for a general election. Municipal election is slow, so it might be easier for them to get a lunch break, but they just, for the general election, I tried to go around and give everybody 15 minutes. Very hard when you got lines, but
I need it. I don't know that. If you go from 5:30 to 8:30,
so that's how long they work.
is it 15? It's 15 hours.
Yes, it is.
15 hours.
Um,
It's 15 hours.
And you know, on election day, it's different than early voting. Election day, nobody can leave. You can't ever leave. That's just the rule. That's from the state. Once you leave, you can't come back.
It'll be 210 for $14 an hour.
All right. And how much will it be for the chief judge?
240.
Okay. That's the rule. Election day, once you come in, you can't leave for anything. So we advise people to bring their medications, whatever it is that they need, because you can't leave.
Okay. All right, so what is that gonna look like? That's gonna look a whole lot different than 138,000.
Yeah. Did that 138 include, or is the state gonna help out with the training this year? Like I did last year?
Yeah, but what?
The poll worker training, I wasn't sure.
No, we'll be the trainers this year.
Yes, you will.
We will be the trainers.
You didn't have to pay me one, last year either, so, hey.
We will be the trainers, so we'll get all that stuff together.
We never had to pay them. You talk about the poll workers paid for it that day.
No, the county did extra contracting,
There was no pay.
had.
They did
change in between directors, the county, brought in, was it Printolite? Is that?
Print 11 is the company that we use anyway
Right.
for the tabulators, they come and service
For
it, but
the
we
logic
did
of-
pay, there was a contract fee for them to come in to help for election day.
Right.
Right, so they're not gonna come in for the logic and accuracy testing.
I think that's always wise to let them do that. I think
That's
that's,
a good job.
So,
They do.
I think that's wise. To me, that would be wise to let them come in and do that every meeting.
Okay, I will look to do that.
That's part of the budget.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, it's already in the budget.
That's what I'm saying.
It's already in the budget, because I didn't change anything from the general election.
Right. Yes.
Would you consider this, since they do, especially, they do get to take a little bit of time off. They get a flat $200 for the bottom two and $230 for the top one, because I think that is more palatable, because you're going up from, you're going up $60, going up $80 for one of them.
Well, I'm sorry. We've already said, we've already voted on $14 an hour.
But not, we didn't vote on election vote for, we voted on that for, we didn't vote on election vote.
But you still giving them $14. You doing the math, and she said the math was based on the $14 an hour.
I'm just saying, that's not what we're doing.
But you said taking it down lower, right?
Yes, because it's a huge increase. I don't think there's no way they're gonna go with this big increase.
We pick a figure that was projected and what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you saying taking it down, taking the poll worker down to two what, for that day?
200, and then the chief judge is 230.
So do you think that they wouldn't agree with somebody working 15, 16 hours? Because although we're paying them for 15 hours, they still may work longer than that, free hours, well, volunteer hours. So, because they really work a lot of times longer than the election time. So we did from 5:30 to 8:30, but even still, based off the general election, don't know if it's gonna be the same with municipal, they were there hours after 7:30 because they couldn't get their numbers correct.
Well, part of it is because we didn't have chief judges who were keeping the numbers straight, and that's why I'm saying it's so important for the chairs to give us the right people to vote on. But if you want to keep it that, and your justification is they're working 17 hours, that's why we're doing it.
15,
You've got, whatever it is, you've got to have that justification.
right, the work hours.
There's no way they're gonna go with this.
That's what I'm saying, the budget is projected, and you have to defend it. And then once you go to defend with what you're saying now, they would either
Agree
say,
or
oh,
not.
no,
That's
shut
right.
it down. So we're projecting what we would suggest that it be.
The law says that the county commissioners have to fund our elections. That is what the law
Projecting
says.
what?
And what our director is going to present, I would hope, to the county commissioners would be, this is what it takes to fund our elections. And it is their duty under the law to fund our elections, and this is what we need in order to execute the election properly.
It's that come to her defending it.
Right. I mean, we have been, Janae, I would just kind of help them understand that we have been doing it under this lower number. But again, like I said, a lot of our workers, and you know this, you and I spoke about it, are, in the 60 to 80-year-old, age
We
range.
got some 9-year-olds.
And we do have some 90-year-olds, that's right.
That's some 9-year-olds that,
And those individuals would like to retire. And, out of how many people in Pasquotank County, we have over 30,000, we've got to start figuring out how to bring in new people. Again, you said that is with the party chairs.
Yes.
But at the same time enticing them to participate and serve in our community.
I think $14 sounds better than 10.
I mean, somebody taking a day off of work, better. I mean, most people have to take the whole day off.
I don't think she's gonna have a problem defending the budget. I think that with what she knows and what we're doing, trying to justify this amount to, get our party chairs to recruit people that were be able to do the work, because that's what it boils down to, is getting people to do it, be able to do the work.
Just for the sake of, in case she runs into some opposition, is there a place where we can tighten up on another line item at all to prioritize our poll workers?
I tried to do the minimum, even though I went up. There was some line items that kept the same. But as far as advertisement, putting stuff in the newspaper, that's something that the state requires you to do, so we gotta do that.
And you got to do that, and with what you all are requesting, there might be more money needed there.
Well, if we do the city, I mean, maybe they'll do it for free, put it on, they just put it at the bottom of the bill. They had all the other numbers up there, they want you to pay. Oh, man.
Look, they might want to charge you to do that, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, they right, huh? I mean, it's our city municipal, of course, we get reimbursed for anything we do for municipal, they get that.
That's right, the city pays for the election to the county. So, so in actuality, what we're looking at here is not
We just have-
necessarily defending it to the county, but also defending it to the city as well.
Right, so the city reimbursed us for whatever we use for the election, so we have to keep up with that. We just have to have enough money in our budget to cover
To cover.
both elections, I mean, all the elections that we have.
They reimburse us the money, but we don't have to defend anything to the city, we just have to do.
Right, they just have to reimburse us.
Right.
I mean, if you need to tighten up, I'd be willing to pay my own dues under the line item that says dues. I don't know what that is, but.
No, because the county, I mean, we put it in the budget to pay for it. So you don't have to worry about that. We haven't even got the fee for the board members association yet. Because I don't think it's that high. I just know that NK's budget is going to go up because they feel like directors need lawyers at this point in time when it comes to politics. Which we do, because politics is getting too involved in this, so that's why our budget is going up.
I don't see any where we could change anything at this point. We just need to just, figure out what we're gonna add to that $138,000. How much money?
You said we're gonna try to do that. We're gonna let the director.
Director.
Okay.
is gonna
I'm gonna come up with a number.
Okay.
Okay, and then what we're gonna do is go on the budget based on the
Increase.
increase.
So maybe I can go to a mathematician and they give me the accurate number and I'll put it in that place. So we can have the right number. Okay.
So now, do we need to vote on the election day? Fee as well? Yeah.
What if the election day fee
Is the same.
incorporates the hourly rate, then I would say no, if that's the policy. Is that the policy?
It has.
It hasn't.
Okay.
Or maybe
So-
it's-
Now,
I thought it was based on the,
you said,
increase.
I was going by what they said, we didn't vote on election day, we voted on poll workers. So that's why I thought we needed to make a motion for election day as well.
Okay.
So we do it. All right, may I have a motion to, accept the flat rate for election day? I thought I was, what was it for? What was it for?
210 and 240.
Okay, may I have a motion to, the flat rate for election day being 14 for all poll workers and judges and $16 for chief judges.
I'll make the motion to, for election day, have $14 per hour for all workers and judges, and $16 per hour for all chief judges.
And when I come up with that number, I will email all of you. Oh,
I need a vote second.
So,
The proper move is second that we, increase the money for poll workers to be $14 an hour. Poll workers and chief judge is $14 an hour. And chief judge is $16 an hour. You heard the question, are you ready for you heard the motion, are you ready for the question?
I have a question. This for election day? Correct. We usually pay a flat fee, what is it? Okay.
Yes.
And you show up, I show up, polls open at what time?
We asked them on election day to come in at 5:30.
Well, you're asking, but what time they really show up?
5:30, that's what time
Okay,
they
so they're
get
gonna
paid.
sign in, these people are signing at 5:30?
Yes, so even, I don't care if they get there at 5 o'clock, we ask them to be at 5:30, so that's when they start to get paid. 5:30.
Okay, I believe in flat fees, but
You know, it's a flat fee, so if you all have already approved $14 an hour for poll workers and $16 an hour for chief judges, that flat fee covers that $14 and that $16. It's just more appealing to the eye if I go up to a college student and say, oh, do you want to be a poll worker today? You get $210. It's just,
Did you say it was 17 hours? How many hours?
15.
I think we did calculations for 15.
15.
Okay, I can amend my motion to include for 15 hours of work
We'll let you know.
for election day. Will that
No,
help?
I don't think, that's not what he's questioning. I don't think we need to put that, because some of them will be there more than 15 hours.
He's saying just put a flat fee instead of putting all that.
He's
stuff, say 210 for election.
Okay.
That's what he said, right?
So,
because a lot of workers aren't gonna be there. Like you said, they're gonna leave early. Oh, sure.
so you said they have to stay there the entire time. That's what you want to include in the rules.
Yeah, entire time that you're basically paying.
Okay.
Okay,
Why don't you make the motion? I'm not sure what it is that you wanted to do. Can you say what it is?
So you're basically saying that even if they work past 15 hours, that's still the same flat rate. They're not getting any more.
Right.
Okay, so that's what you need to say for your motion.
Amendment. Election day worker does not exceed pay beyond 15 hours. Right?
Or we just leave it at the flat rate, or 210. Probably.
For working the
I think that's what-
entire election day.
Yeah, just
That
leave
would
it at
clear
flat
up.
That's what I'm saying.
rate. 210.
That makes sense.
okay, so.
Okay, is there a certain amount of hours
I'll
that they have?
withdraw my motion.
Is there a certain amount of hours that they have to stay to get this money?
The flat fee.
The working hours that you.
So you know how somebody might say they're sick and want to leave in the middle of the day.
Well, that person
They
gets
do
sick.
But we still know the flat fee is based on the $14 an hour, so somebody works 2 hours,
That,
and then you give the 14 times 2.
that's
Okay,
the,
somebody
that's
works
the
4
director's
days.
job to do
Okay,
that.
I just want to make sure that
That's your
y'all
job to do
clarify.
that. We,
Okay.
all we're doing is set the fee for that, the poll workers for the work.
That's why I did it, that's why I did it per hour,
Right.
because she said they could come in and work for 2 hours and say, oh, that's something they can go home now.
Because we had somebody on election day to come in and leave.
And that's why I say flat rate, because even like you said, they could leave early, but she also said they could work longer. So we're not gonna pay them the longer. So if we say flat rate, it's a flat rate. And then you know it's $14 hours, so if something should happen, they have the, whatever to go in and say, okay, she only worked 2 hours, so she's not getting, 210, she's getting 14 times 2 hours.
But a flat rate for working the entire election. day.
Election day, and that's what, flat rate for working the
Okay,
election
I
day.
would like to amend my motion.
Okay,
My motion will be to, to have our election day workers and judges paid a flat rate for an entire day's work of $210 at the rate of $14 an hour. And our chief judges to have a flat rate for the entire day's work of $240 an hour at the rate of $16 an hour.
I need a second. So,
I digest when you left. Second.
it's been probably moved to second that we, provide the poll workers a flat rate of $210 an hour, $210 a day at $14 an hour. Chief judges, $240 a day at $16 an hour. You heard the motion, are you ready for the question? All in favor, let it be known by raising your hand. All opposed? Motion carried. One opposed and 4 in favor. Okay. Now may we have a motion to accept the budget with the necessary corrections for capital, for contracted services.
I make the I'm sorry. Go ahead. I make the motion, we accept the budget with the corrections for contracted services.
A second.
The properly moved and second that we accept the budget with the correction for contracted services. You heard the question, the motion, are you ready for the question?
Question, so you're in agreement with changing the contract services, but you're not in agreement with the pay?
I wasn't in agreement with the election day pay, but the budget has to go on.
Okay. You heard the motion, are you ready for the question? All in favor, let it be known by raising your hand. Motion carried. New business, introduction of party chairs. And I hope they're here.
So we have today, we'll start with Mr. Frank Atkinson. He is the new Democratic chair. For those that do not know him, just wave your hand. All right, he is the new Democratic chair. And then we have Miss Carol Rowland. She is the Republican Party chair. So if y'all, in August, I will get both of you all to come here so we can, I guess, have a little powwow about chief judges and judges as to who you would like to submit.
No knives and guns permitted, okay.
No, absolutely not. We're just gonna try to figure out who you all want and if they are, I guess, a good candidate.
And we hope that, your Republican counterparts out there and your Democrat counterparts out there will, be able to recruit some more qualified people for it. Welcome, we thank you for your service.
Can I say thank you to Mr. Davenport for her time, sir?
Oh, to Mr. Davenport, we do recognize you today as a former party chair, and we thank you for your continued service with your party.
Thank you, huh? Could you take a picture with me, Roland? I appreciate it.
Take a picture of her with her.
With him, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Did you say his name? Atkins. Lawrence. I didn't say that, you Lawrence.
Oh, okay, you need just. Okay, I was gonna. We will just, introduce ourselves, and we appreciate all that you do. And it's been a pleasure to hear you included today, and we're excited about working together and making our elections fair
and, making them, fun and that people want to be involved. And it's, a constitutional pleasure to, that y'all oversee them and that you take it very seriously. So I thank you for that, and it's gonna be a pleasure. I'm a new chair, so it'll be, a learning process for me, but I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Really all I need to say. Thank you. And thank you for taking the time to do this.
Didn't understand that, but.
You agree with everything you said, and thank you.
Yeah, well,
And thanks, Jim.
All right, so I did get some stamps. It's on, someone, yeah, so we got the approved and the denied, there you go. Just for activity, yeah. We only got on each side, you know, got that, we got pair of nine and stuff like that. We had issues with speech. So we kind of pick over. All right, so. Yeah, whatever. Here, I go ahead, that's here, you don't have to, this is. So, and. I need for you to sign and the
But it depends which way it's sent around. If it's sent around this way, I'll do approve it. If it's sent around this way, you do approve. Look, right here.
General legislative, updates.
All right, so, general updates, gifts, more about the gifts and read.
I'm gonna try to make this, this part brief, and everyone is aware that, Federal Judge Richard Myers, U.S. Judge Richard Myers has sided with, Judge Briggs, on the Griffin Briggs situation. All votes will count as they are. Part of his 68-page, finding, his ruling. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I will try to give you more information on it. It is 68 pages from the judge, so I know it's for the legalese. However, one of the final, he was quoted as saying, we will not be going 6 months after an election to change the election, that it is unconstitutional. So as it stands now, he's given Judge Griffin 7 days to appeal, and his party and his attorneys are probably feverishly trying to find something in it. But one thing I do know about Judge Richard Myers is once he says something, he says it, and I have not seen any ruling that he's made since 2019 that get kicked back. So we might be at the end of that with the Briggs situation.
All right, and so for whom the auditor has appointed, it's for the state board. It's Francis DeLuca, Robert Anthony Rucco, Stacy Clyde Edwards, Jeff Carmen, and I don't know this name, Sabahan Miller. So those, Jeff Carmen and Sabahan Miller are Democrats, and Francis DeLuca, Robert Rucco, and Stacy Edwards are the Republicans.
Okay, those are the ones that will be appointed on tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yes. So, and I guess something happens on the 15th. Oh, that's when we'll know if the executive director will keep her position or if they will appoint someone else.
I thought it's
I think it's on
on, according to the agenda, it's supposed to be announced tomorrow.
Okay, well, I guess we'll find out. I thought it was on 15. Okay, so in your packets, I gave you a copy of the letters that will be sent out to the sites for the upcoming municipal election. So it'll be Knobs Creek, Katie White, River Road Middle, Pasquotank Elementary, and how you say that?
Evangelical.
There you go. Methodist Church will all get a letter. Those are the 5 sites for the city municipal.
River Road.
River Road Middle,
Uh-huh.
I'm sending them out after this.
Kermit White.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
It's
just trying to say it.
Mount Harmon,
Now, I want to say it.
okay.
River Road, Kermit White,
Mm-hmm,
Pasquotank Elementary,
mm-hmm,
Knobs Creek,
mm-hmm.
and Mount Hermon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those letters that you all have will be the letters that they get. I'm sending them out today, just to make sure that we have those sites for election.
But do we need to meet with Mount Hermon to see if we could, get the, I believe that the smaller place will be
I
okay?
think if based off the numbers of 2023, we only had 1,300 people, I think the smaller room is fine.
But
We need to have a conversation with them
Yeah.
about general election.
Yeah, we need to start the conversation now, so yeah.
Okay, let's see,
That's 5 sites, right?
5
Yes.
sides, yes.
all right,
In the, excuse me, in the letter, it says that the precinct worker needs access to the polling place by 6 a.m. You said, you told me that at 5:30.
yes, no, most of the time,
So we need to change that.
okay, yes,
Is that in the third page?
Yes.
What did you say?
It says that the precinct workers must have access to the polling place by 6 a.m. at the very latest.
and we asked them, most of the chief judges ask their people to be there at 5:30, you're right. But the elections open up, yeah. 5:30,
So it's 5:30 on both places in that,
yeah.
at the end and in the beginning.
Is it?
Yeah, no later than 5:30 a.m. the last 2 words.
Well, it's at 6 o'clock stays, or does that change?
No, it
Six
says
changes to
5:30.
5:30 in both places.
So I thought the 6 o'clock was for the opening of voting.
And it's
It opens up
they
at
get,
5:30 and then it opens up at 6 o'clock.
for voting.
Yeah.
They get that ahead of time,
Well,
Yeah, I
voting
mean-
starts at 6:30.
6:30.
Nice.
I'll say 5:30. If a chief judge tell their staff to get there at 6 o'clock, they can. The chief judge has the authority to tell their people what time they want to be there.
Okay.
Okay, so it's
Because if they set up the day before, they might not have to get there that early. But if the chief judge says you can come in at 6 or 6:15, they have that, they can do that. They can set up.
Okay.
And that's why you need flexibility. You're counting about hours,
Mm,
and judges have flexibility. When the workers leave, they show up.
Right, on election day, but even election, if it's from 6:30 to 7:30, they will not be leaving at 7:30. I don't care what kind of flexibility in the morning we can do,
They can't.
but they can't leave at 7:30.
Right. They have to stay until everything
Yeah,
is
everybody has to stay.
and packed away
Oh, yeah.
and put in the cars. So they got work to do after the election is over with.
You
But
gotta
in
get
the morning, they might not have anything to do. So I can see the flexibility in the morning.
Mhm.
But, in the evening, there's no say-so in them leaving, early, like some people did the last time.
So even if you pay them for 15 hours and they don't, their chief judge says don't worry about coming in until 6 o'clock, they'll probably still work 15 hours just afterwards, trying to get the paperwork together.
Because if you remember New Land and Pasco, some of those places did not get to us until almost 9 o'clock. So
This is the subject by itself, it has to be trucked in.
No, but they stayed, it don't take you an hour to get from New Land to Lucas City. Only take you 30 minutes. It's the process of packing up everything and getting everything there.
Right, and getting the numbers. For an example, the site that stayed the longest was our newest person, so
Right.
it took them longer to get the numbers together. Cause we kind of threw them in that position.
And it was south, it was just down the road.
Yeah.
That was the last
Yeah,
one.
correct, right.
If you got a good staff, good judge, I assume an hour would be the most, like everything we get out there.
It sounds good. It sounds good, but even then, for that judge, he was a great judge. Unfortunately, the training was not there. But we got everything together. You still have to leave wiggle room for if something happens, so you can fix it.
And those numbers gonna come out even from, they gotta stay there till they find those numbers.
Right.
I'm going back to the letter, so on both of these places that says 6, you change it to 5.
5:30. Mhm.
Yeah,
And if the chief judge realizes that they won't be there, hopefully they'll give us a key or we'll know what time. Cause this general election, we gave them the number to the person that would open up the building. So if they decide they don't wanna be at 5:30, they wanna be at 6, they'll have a number to the person that they can call to make that decision.
so the chief judge does not get a key to the facility.
Yes.
Do they get a key?
Yes.
Some places, I think the maintenance person when they open up the building.
Newland has a key,
Okay,
and now Herman has a key,
okay.
but the schools, they don't give you a key. And I guess we should have said that on the line.
All right, I did send an email to Cranelette for the auto mark machines to ask them if they can come pick them up. Only because we're having renovations, they're having, we don't know I'm using
The
anymore.
old ones,
Mhm.
okay, so, yeah.
Yeah,
The old ones,
so I did send an email for that. We are trying to organize these rooms, somewhat box stuff up, so that when we do the renovations, it'll be easier to move stuff out. It's a process into that. And this stuff is just really everywhere. Dwayne and myself, we took the notary class on Saturday, so we have to get that officially done through the registry of deeds.
Yeah, say what, you have what?
We took the notary class on Saturday.
Okay, so now you're notary,
Well, we have to get notarized, we have to get our paperwork notarized, and then we have to go to registry of deeds and do the oath again there.
okay, okay, that's good. So we have 3 people of notaries in the office.
Yes. Candidate filing starts July 7th through the 18th. July 7th, it starts at 8 a.m. July 18th, it ends at 12 noon.
July the
7th,
through the 18th.
yes. Normally it will start on July 4th. It's a holiday, so we're closed. So it starts on July 7th at 8 a.m.
Okay.
And also, this is just a FYI so that people will know for the primary, you do candidate filing in December. You have to, if somebody needs to change their party to be on the ballot, they have to do it 90 days in advance. The primary is different than the city municipal. And so in August, because we'll still be preparing for the city municipal, which is early voting September 18th, we will put on our county page, we will try to give clarity as much as we can as far as that 90-day rule, because they have to change their party 90 days prior to candidate filing. And that would be in August.
Chair, we ask for recess.
We just got one more thing to do, because we want this closed session. But you can, you have permission to go. Yeah. Any other updates?
Website, so we did take the link down that we had posted up for the Griffin list. A lot of things that are on the site was on the site prior to me even getting on the site, okay? So the maps that were missing from Nixonton, it's been up there probably for years and nobody ever even noticed it. So we fixed that too. It's nothing that I did, it was already up there. So we added the map for Nixonton, even though, some things may change As the list come in for chief judge and judge, we will replace the old list with the new list. So that's why we kept some stuff up there, just so we'll know how it looks, so we'll know what to put up there.
But for right now until the new ones are appointed, they're still there. They're supposed to be,
Yes.
so.
And so, what else is on the webpage? All the scheduled meetings that are coming up all the way up to December, we have put it up there. Of course, we know we may have to change it, but we put it on the webpage so that we don't have to put out notices every week. So it's up there in advance. But when we have meetings, we do need to put the times. I have the times up to July 1st, so that when the new board members come up, they can make the decision on if they want the meetings to still stay at 9 or if they want it to be at 5 o'clock.
That's interesting.
Also for party chairs, there's also a link up there for them to let them know when the observer list has to be submitted, when the party, the chief judge and judge list has to be submitted, just to try to help with that process.
So, we're hoping that they already know how to get on that site and look at it, mess it up.
Yeah, I did see that there's still a link to a poll worker application, yeah.
So we're trying
And
to,
it's Survey Monkey, are you?
yeah, so we logged into Survey Monkey, because I had did an application just to see how it comes back. I haven't quite figured it out yet, because some people have come in and said that they wanted to work on the younger side, but trying to figure out how to get the applications is one thing. So I have sent a message to Emma to see if she can tell me how to retrieve it, because I can't seem to figure it out.
Okay, so people have filled out applications for poll workers.
Well, when they came in to do the registration, they said they were interested, so I just kept it to the side. But when I went online to do the application myself to see how to retrieve it, I couldn't find it on SurveyMonkey.
Okay, I want to know how that information related to the party chairs, because even though they said they want to be poll workers, if the party chair.
So I will give it to the party chairs once I figure out how to retrieve it. I'm gonna give them a name of the people in that party.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we can't pick people to be poll workers and their party chairs don't think so. And I think some of that sort of fell through the cracks on the last election.
Right, what my experience was that when the online application was working more in the receipt applications, she gave that to us prior, like the names of the individuals prior to us meeting with her and pulling our recommendations together, so we knew who was interested, just in case those individuals didn't come to us.
Right, and that's the plan, but I don't know how to retrieve it.
From my understanding, you meeting with him only happened maybe once or twice. That was not something that was done prior to just before she left, I believe, right? I think y'all met twice. It was not something that
It was
was,
extremely successful.
right, yeah.
Now, my plan is, once we get the applicants and the names in that party, I'll give it to the party chair so that they can add it to the list if you want to use.
I just have a question, and it may not be feasible, but with technology, isn't it, when you retrieve it, when they say submit, is there anything prohibiting it to be submitted to more than one person? Which means you would get it, the party chairs would get it at the same time, and it won't be coming to you to be sent back out.
Now that I don't know, because this is a paid service.
It's a what kind of,
A paid service.
Okay, service right when you make people join.
When I went up there, when I used the password that was given, maybe because I don't know where to look, I tried to find the application that I submitted from the website so we can update the general election to city municipal, and I couldn't figure it out.
The problem I could see with that would be, let's say, a Republican goes and fills it out online. It goes to the Democrat Party chair and the Republican chair, or the Democrat Party chair doesn't need that information, and vice versa.
I mean, if they sent it out, and I guess it has some, I don't know that one, but if it has, Democrat up there being in the West vote, then you know you're not utilizing that, but you do what you,
Right.
you have to use your information.
I mean, because all information that's on the application technically, it would be public to
Oh,
the public.
okay, it's not- it's not-
It won't be any personal information. Oh, yes, it would. Because if they have their birthday on it, they can't get it.
I don't think the,
So then you don't send that into
And
application.
so I need to find, I need to look at the application again, because if their birthday is on the application, they can't get it. That's not public knowledge.
I'm just trying to say the steps.
is it feasible that maybe just, I don't know, monthly, you could just give them the list?
I gotta figure out how to retrieve it from
After
them.
you, after you figure out how to retrieve
I gotta figure
it.
out how to-
But not just the online list, but the people who turn them in individually.
But
Well, we don't even have a paper copy of the application, because I was gonna make a paper copy. No, I was gonna make a paper copy just so that we can give it to the party chairs if that's what they want to use. But right now, like I said, I went online, filled out the one online to see how to retrieve it. I can figure it out.
so is the one-on-one line like the one that you would give if you had one, and then you give? Cause I know all those applications that came back in that, they were looking at to call these people, those are the applications, right?
Yeah, just about that we use to see if they wanna work computers and all that stuff.
Okay, that would be the application that you use, right?
Just make a blank one.
Just
Okay.
make a copy from there, and you got it.
A copy somewhere. I may have a copy at
She's
home.
got all the applications.
She got all the
filled out.
applications, yeah,
Oh, yeah, you've got the old ones.
right.
But,
And when you put the one up online, it won't allow you to print.
No. Cause it's through SurveyMonkey.
Yeah,
So it's like, it's not a regular application, it's through a website, I guess you wanna call it, through an app. I mean, I can make one, cause other counties bigger counties have sent me stuff that they use to even get 18-year-olds to come and vote.
Okay.
It's more appealing to the eye when you say 200 something dollars to a broker. Yeah.
Is there anything else about the website? I guess I'm gonna have to send you the picture of the board members, so you can put the new board members in, for the new board member added to the current board, so that it will be up there for
You
the.
took a headshot of them?
Huh?
You took a headshot?
I haven't looked at the picture.
No, you had to stand to the flag like
Yeah,
they do.
yes.
Yes.
Let's do that, we'll do that before we do it. Okay.
Yeah, I had things about a website, I'm sorry, Rosie.
Uh,
Yeah, I noticed it's a lot, she's cleaning up a lot. One thing takes up about a third of the page is the upper zones, and that's a limited audience. I mean, what, candidates, poll observers, and workers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking if you have a link to buffer zones, get it off the whole page, it look better.
Okay, but then what we put on the front page then?
We-
I'm sure, huh?
a poll worker application.
I'm sure we can, change it. I didn't change anything because that's the way Emma had it, so I assumed that that's the way you all liked it. So I didn't change it.
I would personally like to see it be more functional, and just in maneuvering around. I know when I've done it before, it's been like, where do I go? Where do I click? And then I'll click one thing and then it's got something somewhere else, and it's just kind of, I feel like it's jumbled.
We can change some things, but we are still limited to what we can change because they said that our page still has to resemble the county page. I mean, the Pasquotank County page, that's what we were told.
Well, theirs has, I went and looked.
Mm-hmm.
Theirs has links, on the left side of the page.
Mm-hmm.
And it's organized and you'll click those. Now that's on a desktop. I did not look on a mobile device, but, that it has those links on the left side and that takes you to the different categories.
Oh,
So
okay.
the page that we have now is not functional.
Well, it's functional, it's just
Right,
like you was
right.
saying, with the buffer zone in the middle, I would assume your information about candidate filing, upcoming elections, things like that, would be more relevant to the user as they land on the homepage, but that would just be my assumption. And like you have changed and put the numbers of, registered voters, that's new, did you do that?
We did that because we tried to look at other bigger counties and look at how their site is set up. Because we didn't have anything.
Well, you still, it's a work in progress, so you still, so you're still working on trying to improve it.
Yeah, so we try to update stuff monthly unless like these court cases, litigation, we try to, add the link up there. But as far as, updating numbers on Democrats, Republicans, and that'll be once a month. Because during election, reality is it'll be hard to do something like
Well,
that.
the election, it will be.
Yeah. it's-
So the best time to do it is when it's not, you got it as accurate as you can get. Right?
Right, as far as
Right.
numbers go.
And one other thing, I looked at the municipal election timeline, and I didn't realize you had a different date. The board meetings, which includes the canvas, pre-canvas, audit count, which I thought would be over here, but I did find it. But don't we review and approve, or we still court?
The new board probably will do that.
Yeah. So that's why a lot of the TPDs, even the absentee review, I put at 5 PM, because based off the state calendar, it says 5 PM. However, I know that based off the past general election, we still did it at 9 AM. So a lot of times it says, it's just for the new board, when they come on board, whatever time they want to meet, whether it be 9 o'clock or 5 PM, they have that decision, they can make that decision.
Right.
Mhm.
Not doing it. We don't want to put things in place and then they gotta go back and redo it.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
And just when you talk about the functionality, is that what you guys do, or is there someone in IT at the county that can help you with that in laying it out?
We just took over the layout for the web, the social media page, so we are learning how to use it. With some information, because I do all the updates on stuff, Janae gives me the information, I place it there. So, as far as the functionality of it, I think it's Squarespace in general. Because, so it's, I've never used Squarespace looking at it, but it is a continuous work in progress, and it will be forever, because it's how the Squarespace format is.
Because we have to figure out how to upload, so we are uploading the minutes. So,
Right, there's a lot of people who want to
yeah,
recently look at minutes.
we have a lot going on in this office. And so people send the emails, they want 6 years worth of minutes, make it make sense, but, so we're really busy in this office. So,
after the election, you have work that you have to do, and I don't know why people think.
they want
They can
6
make
years of
requests.
minutes, it makes sense. What are you looking for?
Request data that,
Do you have that information on file in the office?
I'm sure somewhere, but we're still in the process of going through each room, trying to figure out what it is that's in there. Like, stuff is everywhere, so we are trying to organize and separate stuff and box stuff up to put it in the retention room. And people are constantly asking for minutes all the time. I don't know exactly what they're looking for.
Well, at one of our trainings we state, and said to let people know the election business has to take precedence over any request. So if you're too busy with
We don't even
election
respond
work,
to email. We don't respond to that anymore.
Mr. Ashman, just a question, you said the website is Squarespace, does the county, do they offer training to you?
They came over to us directly. I cannot remember the young lady's name, she's in, GIS services. She came over, I can show you exactly what it looks like from outing. It's not like a traditional social media page, it's just an information, place. So I do agree with, what Mr. Hague said about, it's not here, I get it, but trying to figure it out, if you see it, like, oh, okay. But, the more we play with it, like that page, as long as the information's up there, that doesn't take precedence to the other stuff that we do.
Yeah.
So as things come about, they put it here because it's gonna be a subsection, so, it's a work in progress. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for updating the webpage
No
and,
And generally, if someone says anything, we can go right in there within moments. It's gone and it's put up.
because I know something, a question came up, I called you, you went right directly up there and deleted it, you know, so, and that's another thing. The board chair, you are, and I don't know what what's the new will be, but as far as them, we have to work together as a board. And so requesting things that I not know about it is a problem. And then when they call and ask me, and I said, well, I don't know anything about it. So it's probably always wise to let the board chair communicate to the director and the deputy as to things that might need to be done. And then we need to make sure that all of the board members are aware, because just like yesterday, something came up. I notified everybody because you were not sworn in, you did not get that information. But the chair has to make sure that she's working with the board, or he's working with the board to make sure everything is clear. And then I make sure I communicate to the director and the deputy, well, the director, because the director will relate information to the deputy. But the line of communication should be between the board chair and the director. Okay?
No, Ed, but it should put it, do not reply, because remember, like I said,
Right?
you know, put do not
Right.
reply.
And so far, no one replied.
Right,
So,
so even when I send emails now, I do.
do not reply.
I do blind eye.
Right,
So it won't be considered as a form.
right. And then we do not reply because if you reply, that means you had a meeting. So,
I did read that anyway.
okay, so, everyone clear? We got, one more meeting before we know who the new board will be, and, where we go from here. And I think they changed, nothing was said in the updates about that. That did change from last week to this week. They got some kind of, the officer will be deciding who the, board members will be. Based
For the
on the
state board?
recommendation.
The state-
Based on,
So he did the state board, and then the state board will do the county.
the state board will do the county.
Mhm.
Say
That,
that,
that's still the same.
yeah, but the dynamics of it changed from 3 Democrats to 3 Republicans, right?
Right, so they'll still pick from the list, and then all the new board members in July 22nd, will be sworn in, so that by the time we go to our conference,
Right.
they will be a board member,
Right.
sworn in board.
Well, what I'm saying that for right now, the dynamics will be 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats.
Starting July.
Right, starting July.
In June, we appointed for the county board. Our term, if my understanding is our term, the law is our term right now, we're in this until June 24th.
Right.
And June 25th is the new appointment, and the swearing in is, what you said, 22nd of July.
Right.
So
Right, so they have to be sworn in, they will be sworn in before the conference.
And it could change again because it's already being challenged. Right.
So,
It changes every week.
it could change.
again.
Exactly,
It's being
exactly.
challenged.
And that's what's so, you know,
It's limbo.
yeah, yeah.
So,
we won't have a July meeting, we'll just wait to swear in.
I don't know about that, no, because we still have candidate island, July seventh, that doesn't change just because some new people are coming on board, but I will find out for you.
How does that work if you're not sworn in, but yet you're appointed? Like in case in my, like what happened with me, I was appointed in the beginning of April, but not sworn in until today. So therefore I had no,
I would have to ask the state more into details, I just know based off the master calendar, it said the 22nd.
And the thing
It
about,
said the third Tuesday, no, the third Monday, the Tuesday, the following Tuesday is when, after the third Monday, is when they get sworn in. That's what the law says, so, but if something changes, I definitely have to go ask the state how that works. Now, we do have a field specialist for our district now.
Who is that?
Oh, we do?
Yes, we do. So, Clyde Riddick. You might have.
the one from Gates County, that was the board, the
Okay.
director from Gates County.
Mhm.
We still, as far as,
Okay.
Ms. Wassenberg not being sworn in until May sixth, it was because we didn't have a scheduled meeting until May sixth.
Right, and
And
every time.
we don't just have a meeting just to swear someone in.
Right, and again, we pay the board, so a lot of extra meetings, you know,
Yes.
it's not in the budget.
Right, right.
And nothing is really going on right now. So.
Right, and if it had been something where we had to have a decision made about something, we would have called a meeting and sworn you in before that meeting. But because there was nothing major going on, so we had already said in the last meeting in March that your swearing in would be May sixth. So it was not a reflection on
oh,
you.
no, I was just saying between June 25th and July 22nd, it's like this limbo land.
It's not,
I guess-
Nobody's sworn
But the
in.
board would still be in position
Right.
until the new board
Until
members
the
get
new
sworn.
board-
sworn in.
It's just to let us know. So once I find out who's being appointed, you know, I get their email address and I get everything situated for the swearing in.
So our term does not, that was my understanding, the term, this is my new, it ends on June 24th, is what the law said.
Let me find out and see.
Is everything else, that we finished with the website and all that?
Yes.
Okay. Before we go into closed session, we do need to have a break, a recess for about 5 minutes for everyone. So, I have a motion for a recess.
I move for 5-minute recess.
Second.
We probably move the second to take a 5-minute recess. All in favor, let it be known by raising your hand. Raise your hand. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for coming, and, we will put on pause right now. We do have to come back out of our closed session again, but in our closed session, you have to be asked to leave.
Missing article.
If you're still out there, we ask you to come
Talk
back
about
in.
you.
Okay, all right, we thank you for coming today, and we look forward to, continue working.
It's gonna be an interesting next year or two.
Okay.
It went to Chris, it went to the publisher.